Number 2. What's a baseball list without talking about the rivalry? And the rivalry I'm talking about is, of course, Yankees-Red Sox. So, we've already mentioned the hair policy. When George Steinbrenner took over the Yankees in 1973, reportedly he was standing up in his press box, whatever, for the national anthem, and he was looking at the Yankee players, and he said that their hair was disgraceful, it was too long, whatever, and he wanted to do something about it. So he wrote down the numbers of the players, because of course the Yankees don't have names on their jerseys. So he wrote down the names of the players, which I found funny. Like, I guess he didn't even know the names of his players yet. So he wrote down the names and made a big stink about it. And the hair policy, the famous Yankee hair policy, came into being. And it said, all players, coaches, and male executives are forbidden to display any facial hair other than mustaches, except for religious reasons, and scalp hair may not be grown below the collar. Long sideburns and mutton chops are not specifically banned. So that was the famous Yankee hair policy. Like I said, lots of other teams had hair policies. Yeah. It wasn't a big thing. The one that we know about the most is the Yankee one. So this is something that still stands. It's a little, like, there's a little bit of gray.
That's why Judge can't do the stash.
That's why Judge can't do the mustache. I didn't want to break it to you.
Ruin my friggin' day.
So the hair thing, Garrett Coley came over, and there's some people saying, if the Yankees still follow the same policy, then it's you got to cut it. Whatever. It's 2020, I think.
Exactly.
I think. So over the years, you could probably guess that this hair policy has been challenged a few times by the Yankees. Not only was it challenged, but it was challenged by people that had some pretty darn good mustaches too. You've already mentioned both of them, Don Mattingly and Goose Gossage. Both, legendary Yankees for their own right. David Wells did it too, but we're not talking about David Wells.
Screw that guy.
So Steinbrenner and then manager Yogi Berra tell Goose Gossage to shave his beard because they weren't a fan of it. In response to that, Goose Gossage
did he grow that?
He gets that extended mustache, bushy horseshoe thing that he had.
Yeah, he always had that little
just a crazy thing. Looking good. Goose Gossage looking great. Still a mustache, and still following the hair policy.
Nice.
So he gave it.
Nothing wrong with that.
And then you got Mattingly. So Mattingly, he's got that.
Don.
Where is he? Don Mattingly, just
his hair is pretty long in that
simple,
picture.
but it does better in the collar, so you're all right.
Oh.
Simple one. Supposedly he came into where the Seinfeld episode comes from. He came into spring training with his hair in a mullet.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit too long in the back. Turned out to be...
Too much party.
Too much party in the back. Don Mattingly.
Business in the front, too much party in the back.
Yeah. So what's a baseball list without comparing Yankees and Red Sox? Well...
Right. Pedro Martinez had a nice mustache.
He did, but he didn't make my list.
But he's technically still a Red Sox.
On the opposite side of the rivalry, I looked at Luis Tiant and Wade Boggs, who Tiant played right around the same time as Gossage, and Wade Boggs and Don Mattingly, they were two of the best players of that time.
Did Boggs play for the Yankees too?
Boggs did go play for the Yankees.
I'm getting
to that. I'm getting to it.
Segue.
So Tiant was a Red Sox pitcher from 71 to 78, and he had that nice mutton chop style.
Man, I'm so jealous. I can't grow any of these things.
Tiant, him and Gossage, they kind of had the same kind of thing. Tiant was a little bit less shaggy, I guess. Gossage really had Gossage had the shagginess, and Wade Boggs, he had such a great mustache too.
Oh, you can't beat
that thing.
Uneven though, in that picture you're showing me right now.
Tiant was part of some great Red Sox team that just came up short. Most importantly, when they lost to the Cincinnati Reds in the late 70s. Wade Boggs played on some really good Boston teams. Helped Boston get to the World Series in '86, which they lost.
Is that the Buckner?
Yeah, lost to the Mets. He was a great hitter, and what makes a really good rivalry? Wade Boggs joined the Yankees.
He did the old Johnny Damon, and they had to shave his beautiful mustache.
Joined the Yankees in '90.
Beard off.
Joined the Yankees in '96. Won a World Series.
There's been a lot though.
A lot. Johnny Damon.
Ellsbury.
I don't think Ellsbury could grow a beard anyway, so
True.
I don't think it really mattered. But
Damon looked like Jesus.
That's a list for another time. So that's my number 2. The rivalry. Mattingly, Gossage, Tiant, and Boggs. Great mustaches, all 4 of them.
I'm so jealous. I shouldn't do that.
You've only started...
I appreciate that you kind of trimmed down your beard.
I did the best I could. Did the best I could.
Yeah, I'm glad you did because you'd probably look awful. That's what we need. Anyways, getting back to the list, we both have one left. I'll go first since that's kind of the order we've been going with. Mine is obviously Rolly Fingers. People have replicated the Vaudevillain. That's the name of the mustache. The mustache is not called the Rolly Fingers. It's actually called a Vaudevillain. I looked it up. There's also a wrestler named Simon Gotch. Could rival the Rolly Fingers one, but nope. Rolly Fingers obviously takes my number 1 because that takes a stupid amount of dedication to grow such a beautiful mustache. I would have to, I don't know, I could never do it. It would never happen because my facial hair doesn't grow in certain places or thick enough. So Rolly Fingers is my ultimate MLB mustache man.
Very, very solid choice. That leads perfectly into my number 1 choice. Continuing with my categorical rankings, when I started looking into it and we talked about it, this was actually where I got the idea to do more of a categorical kind of ranking, just because you can't talk about mustaches in baseball without talking about the 1972 Oakland Athletics, who are known as the Mustache Gang. So when I started looking into the Mustache Gang, I knew a little bit about certain ones. Started looking into it. I said, I got to do something.
Well, was Eckersley on the team? Because I know he was an A.
He was with the A's in the late 80s.
Oh, okay.
Early 90s. So I had to go, I wanted to do a categorical thing because of them. The Mustache Gang started in 1972 with the Oakland A's. Reggie Jackson showed up to spring training with a mustache, claiming he would have a fully grown beard by the start of the regular season. If you know anything about Reggie Jackson cares only about Reggie Jackson, and Reggie Jackson does what Reggie Jackson wants to do. Fits in great with the Yankees. Initially, so this statement didn't go over very well. Manager Dick Williams and owner Charlie Finley had a chat about it, and Finley told Williams to tell Reggie to shave it off. Well, Reggie told Dick Williams he could shove it. He had no interest in shaving off his mustache. He was going to let it grow, get that beard that he said that he was going to grow. So, A's owner Charlie Finley wanted to avoid a much bigger conflict, and knowing Reggie Jackson's persona and ego, he said, if I can get some of the other players to grow a mustache, then Jackson won't be that individual standing out. He's just going to be one of the crowd. Well, it kind of backfired. So he hoped that if everyone else grew a mustache, then Jackson would just shave it off, and then Finley would be able to talk to the other guys and say, okay, shave it off, we're all clean shaven again. It actually took off and became very, very popular. Finley asked pitchers, Gerald Knowles, Bob Lockard, Catfish Hunter.
Catfish, see, another one on my list.
And mustache icon, obviously, Rolly Fingers, to all grow a mustache.
Our lists are really intertwined.
And this attempt backfired because it ended up becoming very popular. They all loved it. And, the Mustache Gang happened. They started. So, Finley and the other management began to come around on the look. I mean, when you have a happy team, everyone's bonding together. You play better. Maybe the camaraderie's better. So the mustache look caught on, and more players started to grow a mustache. And Charlie Finley himself actually reportedly grew a mustache. I wasn't able to find a picture of him with it, but reportedly he grew one, and the manager Dick Williams, he also grew one.
Nice.
He changed the Father's Day celebration for the Oakland A's to be called Mustache Day.
Yes.
And he offered $300 to anyone on the team that could grow a mustache.
It's
before Mustache Day. Fast forward to Mustache Day. All 25 members of the Oakland Athletics had grown a mustache. Manager Dick Williams as well. Every fan that showed up to Oakland Stadium on Mustache Day with a mustache
got like a free hot dog.
got in for free.
Not even a hot dog.
Got in
into
for
the
free.
Game. That's amazing.
And who did Finley invite to be master of ceremonies for Mustache Day? You have a guess?
Burt Reynolds.
Frenchie Bordigari.
No way! We're coming back all the way
who
around.
we talked about
I'd say
earlier.
Burt Reynolds because his is
Frenchie
pretty iconic.
Bordigari, who brought back the mustache in 1936.
Son of a mother duck.
Okay, no player obviously benefited more from the mustache look than Rolly Fingers.
How he doesn't have like a cream or a wax
He
for mustaches
grew
now?
his stylish vaudevillian mustache to become his trademark look. Fingers not only got a substantial increase in salary due to his performance, but his 1973 contract also includes
He had to
a year's supply of the very best mustache wax.
There you go. There you go.
The two parties compromised at $100 for the year
For his mustache.
per year for mustache wax, which allowed Rolly Fingers to wax the tips of his mustache 2 times a day.
2 times a day. That's insane. I can't.
Negotiated into his contract.
Yeah.
Mustache wax, the best you could get.
And
Which in,
probably like 5 packs of cigarettes.
1972, I'm not sure exactly how good the mustache wax was, but he negotiated into his contract. And I mean, the Rolly Fingers, he's the number 1 list. When I was doing some research, every website I went
Amongst
to,
all sports or more just baseball?
He's just such an iconic look.
Yeah.
Any baseball list for sure, you're looking at Rolly Fingers. Like we talked about John Axford, who mirrored the look, wasn't as good. There's a few guys.
No, everybody's tried. You can't do it.
There's a few other guys that have been doing it, trying to do it too.
The Canadian guy was close.
John Axford, Rolly Fingers though. You got to give it to him. The guy.
Yeah.
The guy.
It takes dedication. It's a lot more work than you think. Well,
and,
this isn't, but those mustaches are insane.
And if you look at the Mustache Gang, like
wow, that's a super cool picture.
They're all
minus the guy in the right-handed corner.
Bushy, kind of bushy. Rolly Fingers was the only one to have that nice little curl.
I can like when it gets a bit longer, I can do a little bit, but I can't.
I had a buddy who played baseball down in Texas, Frank Cloutier, and he said that the key to doing it is on your free time. If you have a lot of free time, is to just sit there and just play with it. And over time, as it grows out and everything, you just work it all the time.
Yeah, I guess eventually just kind of.
I mean, I'm good for him for growing it. Good for Rolly Fingers for having that iconic look. But I don't have the time to sit there and just roll my mustache between my fingers. No. That's my number 1, the Mustache Gang, 72 Oakland A's. You can't get much better than that.
No, for sure.
They changed Father's Day to Mustache Day. You know,
not saying Father's Day is not important, but that's pretty cool.
Mustache Day, and it's so fitting to have the Master of Ceremonies for Mustache Day, Frenchie Bordigari.
It's cool because it's
bringing back 1936.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Was he like a bajillion years old?
I don't know. I didn't look into that, but
anyways, that's our top 10. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Cheers, man.
Thank you. Thanks for everybody that's donated money to my team. We're having a blast. This has only been a week in. It's coming along. Like I said, thanks again, and hope you enjoyed watching. And I hope you look forward to seeing some more top 10s coming up in the very near future.